No, I don't think that at all either. I'm just saying on this particular song, because it's definitely a big rock song, and it's like, but if you listen in your headphones, I would just, the keys are great, but I would have brought the guitar up a little bit and lowered the keys just a little bit. That's just here nor there. So now we get to song number 2. Okay, Shoot It. Now, this one really punches you in the gut with horns. He's got kind of a boogie-woogie piano there. I think this could have been the first single, to be honest. This is a big, bombastic song. It seems like a hit to me. It's very upbeat. It's very sunshiny. I can see Roth going wild on this. I love the solo on here. It's simple but tasty. This is a fun romp. It's kind of a pop rock romp. He rarely played this live. We'll get into that later on. I don't know why. He only did this song in Miami and Orlando and in Germany, and it seems like it would have been prime for the stage. But this is also written by Robbie Neville, David Lee Roth, Brett Tuggle, and Greg Bissonette. But here's a clip.
You better shoot it, shoot it, come on, baby, put your best shot on me. Oh, yeah. Shoot it, girl, you got to do it for a friend in need. Wow. Shoot it, beggars can be choosers in a dinner place. Is it good for you? Oh, 'cause it's good for me.
So as you can tell, there's a real power-packed energy to this song. What did you make of this one, Dave?
I do like the song. Interestingly, it starts off with horns at the beginning, which is not all that unusual for David Lee Roth to have horns in song. But to have horns in like a rock-based song, that was a little different for him. So I remember when I first heard that, it kind of threw me off because it wasn't like the horns in I'm Easy.
Right.
Or,
well, that's big band, yeah.
Right, or Just a Gigolo or stuff like that. This is more of a rock song, and he's got horns coming out of the gate.
Right. It really punches you right in the face when it's like, it really gives it some juice.
It does.
Right.
It does. So,
Right.
It's a decent song, but it's kind of like a lot of the songs on the album. It's a decent song. It's a good rock song. It's not bad, but there's like nothing exceptional going on. It's a good album track.
Right.
But that's about all it is.
Okay. So now we're on to song number 3, Lady Luck. And this is where I think the album sort of gets in gear here. Because the best thing I love about this album is I love the swagger, bluesy feel Roth injects here. This picks up where Ladies' Night in Buffalo and Big Trouble left off. Roth's voice and attitude works great with blues rock. I think his gruff kind of California whiskey-soaked growl is totally fitting. At about 2 minutes and 18 seconds, there's this guitar back and forth that I love between the two guitars. It really opens this album up, if you ask me. You can tell Roth is treading on some new ground here, and this is a great start. This is the song written by Craig Goldie and David Lee Roth, and here's a clip.
Time after time, I'm walking that lane between trouble and my lady luck. Oh, I can't deny that woman is lane orange. Lady luck.
As you could tell, he's got that sort of like perfect, vibe on this song. Dave's voice and Dave's kind of whole energy, I think, works with this song. What do you think of Lady Luck, Dave?
I do like Lady Luck. Craig Goldie. Wasn't he with Dio? Did I get that right?
Maybe he could have been. I'm not sure.
He was with some other band. Yeah, Dave had a lot. First time his use of outside riders.
Big time.
Riding with him.
Yeah,
you
could tell he was really like, we got to stack up for this one. You can just tell between spending 6 months recording, which is not like him, and getting a big rock producer, getting an extra guitarist, getting all these riders. It's almost like he's just loading on the artillery here.
Lady Luck, another big rock song.
Right.
And it's exemplary of like the big drum sound on this album. Greg Bissonette, he is like an army.
Greg is unbelievable.
Oh no, he's a very talented drummer, but like his drums never sounded better with David Lee Roth than on this album. Bob Rock gets that big drum sound, kind of like Kiss's Creatures of the Night album. That also has a big drum sound where the drums sound like cannons. And I know some people are like, drums should sound like drums and not like cannons. But I'm like, bring it on. If you're going to have a big rock album, you got to have some big drums.
Yeah.
And just the way Lady Luck ends with the drums at the end, great stuff.
That's
great
the truth.
stuff.
That's the truth. And in fact, the whole reason Lars Ulrich chose Bob Rock to produce the Black Album from Metallica is because of the sound he got for Tommy Lee on Dr. Feelgood. So
another great drum album,
right,
for sure.
Unbelievable.
Wow,
Unbelievable.
that's when Lars cared about what the drums sounded.
Yeah, oh my God. Then Saint Anger came, and that was the end. Oh my God.
Right.
Everybody talks about
didn't Bob produce that too?
He did, but that wasn't his fault. That was like a Lars thing. He wanted that ping, 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 ping. It was a nightmare. I would wish that they remixed, or I don't know if they have alternative versions of drums on that, but there's some good songs on Saint Anger. I really enjoy some of the songs on there, but the drumming, not the drumming, the sound of the drums, the way where they were mic'd is just horrendous. So anyway, that's another story, but we're on to song number 4, which is Hammerhead Shark. This is sort of a playful rocker with plenty of punch. I wish the guitars were a little louder in the mix, as the playing is really colorful. The focus is all on Roth's wordplay here, and if you listen in your earphones, the guitar volley back and forth between 2 minutes and 47 seconds and all the way towards the end is just really solid. It's a lot of fun. Here's a clip. This one is written by Roth and Eric Lowen with Preston Sturges. It's interesting, I'm going to point this out towards the end of the album. There's certain songs that are kind of paired together. There's 2 of these and 2 of these and 3 of these. It's interesting the way this album is paired together. This is sort of it has sort of a sense of humor, this song, the Hammerhead Shark thing. Dave, what do you think of this one?
I like the guitar interplay that you talked about in the song, right in the middle there. It really does take advantage of the fact that there are 2 very talented guitarists on this album. Again, another step for Dave that he had never done before.
Totally, yeah.
And when I first heard that, I was like, well, this is going to be curious because he's having 2 guitarists on there. So how is that going to work? Because he only has 1 guitarist. I mean, and sure, the 1 guitarist, whether it was Ed or whether it was Steve, would overdub when needed, but having 2 guitarists, let's see how that works. And it works out well.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Lady Luck ends, and there's kind of like a guitar hanging out there, and then Hammerhead Shark just starts right off the bat.
Right.
I don't want to say it starts in the middle of the song, but it's an abrupt start after almost an abrupt ending to Lady Luck. So it's interesting how the album is sequenced.
It also has a lot of humor to it. It's got that it's got even the shark theme in it. It's just
it's got a little bit of the Jaws theme in there. That was a nice little touch.
It was a nice touch. Now, the song number 5 is my favorite track on the album, Tell the Truth. Now, this is, I think, Roth's finest moment on the album. This song fits him like a glove. There's plenty of attitude and swagger here. Apparently, this was a very personal song about a breakup of a relationship that he had, that he wrote about with Steve Hunter and Brett Tuggle. I wish he would have had Steve write more on the album. I think Steve's writing on this album is phenomenal. I think it's great. I want David Lee Roth to do a full blues album after I heard this song. I remember, believe it or not, Dave, you're going to laugh. This is so funny. So I remember listening to this song. I'm 21 years old. Okay, this is the summer of 91. This is the summer before our last year of college. So my parents weren't home. and I had a bedroom that it was sort of an interesting thing. I had a window right next to my bed that I could climb out onto the roof. It was right there. Like, it wasn't dangerous. It's almost like a little deck, but it wasn't a deck, but it was the roof of the house. But my parents weren't home. And I remember when I sat out on the roof and smoked a cigar and had some whiskey, and I was hanging on the roof listening to the song, blaring this out of my stereo at 21 years old.
You and your whiskey.
You and my whiskey, that's right. That's right, but it was funny drinking some JD, listening to this out of my bedroom in the summer of 91. It might have been right around the time when we went to the show, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But I love this song. Take a listen to this. This is an incredible clip.
I always heard it said that the truth will set you free. Oh, with the way you do, well, how can I believe? Smoky Mountain got to blow. I'm a living proof. All right now, I think it's time to tell the truth, baby. Time to tell the truth. Yeah, you got to try. Stop a lying, baby. Time to tell the truth.
If you guys want to really check out an interesting performance, David Lee Roth went on David Letterman and performed this song, and it's a very different Dave. He's very kind of subdued, and he's doing sort of the blues thing. He's got his hair tied back in a ponytail. It was a really cool performance. Dave, what do you think of this one?
Well, this is when the album starts reminding me of other songs.
Oh, boy.
Because Tell the Truth is basically Black Velvet.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
by,
true.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
it's like
Alana
Miles or something.
Alana Miles. You got it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, it's almost like he's not even trying. I mean, this song and that song, you put them back to back, they are very similar. How he did not get sued for, quite frankly, ripping off that song is beyond me. So is it a good song? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was it done already? Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, here's a clip of Black Velvet. Here's a clip of Tell the Truth. The similarities really come from the whole kind of bass and drums, but the melody of the song is a little different. Like Black Velvet was a little more upbeat.
Yeah, I know, but like the whole feel of the song.
Right. I agree.
Same.
No, I agree. Especially the production. It's like it's very.
And I mean, the song Black Velvet was only like a year old at that time.
Exactly. That's the truth.
So it's very much on your mind when you hear Dave do it.
That's true. Now, Tell the Truth was the third single. That only got to number 39 on the Billboard mainstream rock charts. As you can tell, Dave is not doing well chart-wise with this. So his things are not looking good on that end. Now, song number 6, Baby's on Fire, which I love this song. This is definitely more of a reach back to the original Van Halen 1 album. This has got that vibe. One reviewer said that he's really ripping off Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song here, and there are hints of the guitar riffs. Here's a clip. This This is probably, like I said, the most Van Halen-esque song on the album. It's written by Steve Hunter, David Lee Roth, and Brett Tuggle. It's the hardest hitting song on the album because it's pure muscle. Roth howls on this one. It's nice bass work from Matt Bissonette here. It's pretty straight ahead power album track, but this one could work well on stage, and it was played here and there, but not really totally used to its potential. What do you think of this one, Dave?
You're right. This song is the most rocking song. If there's anything that's going to remind you of Van Halen 1, it's this song.
Yeah.
It's better than Sammy's song called Baby's on Fire, because it's not an episode unless I try and throw in a Sam versus
Of course.
Dave. You're right about the bass. There's a nice little, I won't call it a bass solo, but there's a few seconds where